Live from the dumpster behind Wendy's where he just banged your mom, it's Dickbag Patrol! Yes, Dickbag Patrol, the world's funniest white man, live and ribbed for your pleasure. Also starring Frauded Ram as the old man.
What? What'd you just say?
Get ready to feel the burn deep in your buttocks and in your brain. Prepare to submit yourself to his increasingly perverse commands. Strap yourself in and get your party boobs ready. Looks like you picked the wrong week to stop sniffing glue. Now, please welcome the all-knowing, all-seeing master of time, space, and dimension, Dickbag Patrol!
Oh my God.
How's everybody doing?
Bring on the sauce.
Yeah? You all right, Ram? You need sauce
Yes, sir.
already? Uh-oh. That's a bad sign.
Bad sign.
Getting sauce.
How you doing? How you doing, pal? Boy, you talk about by the skin of your teeth.
Yeah, no shit. You ever have one of when you go out? Normally I try and run errands like on off hours and stuff like that. Or, today, like I picked the worst possible time to do everything. So like, like certain traffic corridors and things like that, or trying to take a left turn out of somewhere where it's just like, no fucking way, hitting all the weird ass stoplights that you never hit normally. And then they take like 5 minutes to change. It was just one of those things. Yeah, but I made it. I'm here.
Yeah, they certainly tried to. My internet was out twice today. You had that going on. They tried, but they did not succeed. The YouTube gods failed this tonight.
Yeah. I will never stop sniffing glue, Draco. I like glue too much. No, I'm actually kind of serious about that. I do a lot of like model work and models. I'm not me. I'm not posing for shit. Believe me. I mean, and custom projects and things like that. So
Dickbag in his
I
teddies.
actually quite enjoy some of the fragrances of glue. You don't want to smell them directly or anything. You definitely want to wear, and you definitely want to wear ventilation or filter, some kind of filter when you're using some of them for sure. I don't know if any of you guys have used like barge glue before. It's like there's shit you can glue your shoe, heel back on, or your soles back onto your tennis shoes. It's like super thick. It's industrial stuff like that. I've had to use things like that. You definitely want to be doing that outside. Otherwise, you might end up like Chile. Do we want to watch Derp now, or do we want to save Derp for the end? Or
play it. It'll be a good start.
Play it.
Yeah.
All right. I will. You prick.
If it comes around the way people are saying some people are saying it's going to come around, then you guys tell me where you stand. I just want to know because I can't say anything else. I just have to bite my tongue.
Today on Chile's Burning Passions, Mission of Love.
I'm on a mission. Every time I see cherries and berries come on, I will pull over and I will if when you see a copper, your not sliding out of your pocket, then you have not been watching the channel. Every time you see a copper, your slides out of your pocket and you immediately begin the reason I film you guys is because I never know when I'm gonna get lucky. And what makes you? What's your passion? You look good, bro. You're looking good. You're looking young, man. I'm not. I'm 48 years old. The torture cuffs you carry on your belt. If I have to go with you, I'll go with you. You don't have to torture cuff me. Let me put them on you. But let me put them on you the way you put them on people.
Sponsored by Delete Law's new cherry and berry flavored lubes for when you really want to f*** a cop.
Dickbag Patrol in color.
Nice, yeah. That kind of came out of the blue. Derp just emailed me and said, "Hey, I have a video with you in it." He said, "Well, actually, he sent me. I don't know if you noticed the my Dickbag Patrol cartoon looked a little slicker than the one I drew. Derp kind of did a little Derp makeover on him." And sent me the PNG to use from now on. So, yeah, thanks for telling me my artwork sucks, Derp. Fucking prick. No, I'm just kidding. Obviously, yeah, I appreciate that. So I'll probably be using that going forward. A little free upgrade. I'm not going to turn that down. But he's a funny guy. Hopefully, we'll be able to finish this one. I know he and I both had some craziness happen. So, but prior to all that, we were working on another one, and hopefully we can get that out to you soon. Trying to finish another video for you guys. Trying to stay motivated to keep making videos. It's been hard, but yeah. I don't want to let down the nice people, Ram.
Right.
You know,
they understand. You got to take care of yourself.
Nobody's here for my looks, or probably for my personality, for that matter.
Oh no, your personality and your talent are what carry the whole thing.
God bless you, sir. Now I was trying to find the stupid video I was gonna play next, and
well, I got Shelly up there if that's what you're looking for.
Well, I want to. Oh fuck! God damn it! Stupid downloading program I have. Sometimes it doesn't. It just doesn't do a very good job. So, yeah, the only reason being it's I wanted a downloaded version of it was because it's way better. I don't know if you noticed the sound quality on that wasn't quite. For some reason, when you feed YouTube back through StreamYard, it's not all that great. So,
one of those things that very few notice.
Yeah. So let me get that re-downloaded. And in the meantime, I did want to. I know I hate to clickbait you guys, and I know I said no Corey, all Chile, but I realized. Yeah. By the way, thanks for hosting that one, Ram, our Corey Feldman live stream. If you didn't know, don't think that will be our most viewed episode ever. So thanks for taking the bullet on that.
Yeah.
But
what are friends for?
Exactly. Well, Ram was like, I don't have really anything for tonight. I don't have time. It's been a busy day, all this stuff. And I said, well, all right then. Let me screw you over and we'll watch some Corey Feldman videos. Here, pal, buddy.
Yeah. I don't think I'll be so lucid next time.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was. I'll be honest with you, it was exhausting. He's kind of a twerp. We were talking strictly about his music career for the most part, and I realized my brain was so fried by the end of it. I realized I didn't really make the point that I was one of the major points I wanted to make, which is that why his crying and whining about how the music industry has just mistreated him and all this shit, and is because my wife is an incredible singer. I really wish I could share her music and what she does with you guys, but and I produce music and I'm a musician, and I mean I enjoy singing as well, and I could sing better than Corey Feldman. I can tell you that much.
I second that.
But as somebody who has had, songs that they've done that have been, in TV and movies, I'm not flexing. I'm just saying, like, I've done professional music things. You know what I mean? Like actual music things. And I have an album coming out that's, it's not mine, but it's a project I was involved in. It's sort of historical. And again, I really can't say too much about it. Perhaps one day.
One day you can.
But, I sort of found it just extra, just galling is, complaining. Because I tell you what, if I had Corey Feldman, and he said something like, "Oh, I've been for three, I can't remember how many years, 3 years, I've been doing nothing but music," and then we listened to his song, right, and it's just shit, and it's like with 3 years and the resources that this fucking guy has, the stuff that we'd be able to produce between with my wife would just be, so it was just galling, being as I live with someone who has way more talent than musical talent, that is, than that guy could ever hope to, and having her, watching her sort of, do what we can. She's had a lot of good success, but, if I had, the resources of somebody like that, we could be a lot further, I'm sure. But anyway. So that was that. So let me, so no more Corey Feldman, I promise. Better fill that little guy. I just had to get a break from Chile and all the other bullshit for a minute. All right, so this is Chile's. Oh, hold on. This is his reply to. Shit, what the hell was it called?
The appellate?
Reply to state's response to appellant's opening brief. So this is as of yesterday.
So that would make this a repellent?
I'm going to pretend you say that, and then I'm going to go back and edit it out of the stream later.
Yeah. Okay. Are we going to keep score?
That's where it's at from now on, man. So gauntlets thrown down. You see where we're.
All right.
How this is going to go.
I'll get the scoreboard turned on.
You got it. All right. So let's listen to this garbage here.
Garbage.
Why not?
Hello, world. Today's June 26th, 2024. My name is Chille De Castro. I am a journalist. I've been unjustly locked up in the Clark County Detention Center for obstruction when I was filming a cop. The kangaroo court led by Judge Ann Zimmerman will have to pay when I file my federal civil rights lawsuit when I get out of this dungeon. If you're new to my channel, I'm a First Amendment auditor and I film the police. That's what I do for a living. I filmed hundreds of cops in my lifetime.
Wait. Did he just call himself a First Amendment auditor?
That's what it sounded like.
And not a constitutional law scholar? Huh.
Yeah, he can't cover it up now.
Yeah, I don't know. That's odd.
It's a little late for that.
Yeah, if that's what he's trying to do here.
That's what it sounds like to me.
You think he actually started listening to everybody? I don't know.
Arrested for filming a cop is in Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, what's happened so far is we filed an appeal. The district attorney has filed their reply. This is the reply to their reply, and the hearing for my appeal is July 10th, 2024. We are now 14 days away. So here's the reply. Start on page 1 here. You can follow along on the screen. Comes now appellate Jose De Castro. My legal name is Jose. Through his attorney of record, Chris Orm, this brief is made, and here we go. Page 2. Arguments. Mr. De Castro's conviction must be reversed based upon violations of the First Amendment of the United States. 1.
Now, wait. Is this the one that Pat went over last week?
Yes.
Or is this...
sounds like it. I mean, that was the first.
Boy, I wish you were here for this.
Yeah. Yep. If you want to shuffle it, I'll pull the other up.
What's the other one?
Well, I mean, I'll pull up his.
I did let him know we were going on tonight. I emailed him, so I have no idea whether or not he will. So what's the other Chile thing?
No, I'm saying I could pull up Patrick's reading of it if you want to shuffle back and forth. That's up to you. We already covered it.
We did cover that. Okay, well, let's just listen to what his.
Well, no, we didn't. Yeah, we didn't cover his breakdown. We covered this, but it was Patrick's.
Patrick already went over all this. Yeah,
right.
Okay. Well, let's see what Chile has to say about it then.
Began filming police interaction from 10 feet or more. It's to be noted that in the DA's reply to the original appeal, he said I was within 5 to 10 feet. Mr. District Attorney, I have filmed hundreds of cops. I always stay 10 feet away. The police interaction.
I'm gonna need some proof of that. But yeah, Nemo, I think this is the one that Pat covered already. But I'm counting on Chile to say stupid things during it. So that's what.
Yeah, that's the whole point of it. Chile is right, and he's already changed.
Yeah, and Draco's. Patrick's read. Of course, it was way better because he's a real lawyer.
Occurred in broad daylight, where De Castro complied with the officer's demands to back up. De Castro utilized provocative and challenging speech while demanding the officer issue citations to the driver.
I can hear
All of
Patrick
Mr.
already.
De Castro's actions were clearly protected by federal case law and the United States Constitution. The state acknowledges that De Castro has a constitutional right to film the police interaction. However, the state argues that there are reasonable time, place, and manner restrictions associated with the First Amendment, a point which Mr. De Castro concurs. Despite this agreement, the state maintains that De Castro's actions somehow obstructed the officer. First, at trial and on appeal, the state repeatedly contends that De Castro refused to back up. The state advances this argument to demonstrate that De Castro hindered and obstructed the officer from completing his duties based on De Castro's refusal. At trial, Bork testified he did not back up. The officer also testified that there was a 21-foot rule. In closing arguments, the prosecutor argued that De Castro violated this imaginary 21-foot rule. The prosecutor also argued that De Castro would not back up when ordered to do so. Page 3.
Oh man, is he just going to read this whole
the
thing
state
straight through?
The difference here is that the appellate was actively interfering and obstructing the police investigation by approaching the driver and refusing to back up.
Well,
The
it sounds
officer
like
could
to
not
me.
safely conduct his investigation. No matter how many times.
Yeah.
Sounds like to me what he's doing is he's finally listening. And Patrick said all along, he talks about things that don't need to be addressed. And it sounds like they're tightening this up because they're discussing the case instead of all the superfluous crap that they threw in there all the time. And I'm just guessing because I haven't watched the whole thing, but that's what it sounds like. This is his reply is a polished version of his previous after it had gotten shredded to pieces. So maybe he is starting to listen.
This is the same thing that we've already seen, though.
Yes, the same.
So it's
the
still
same appeal.
the same stupid ass.
Same appeal. Just third version of it.
So this is a revised version of what?
Well, his reply is because his reply is different. What he's narrating right now is different than what he said the previous time. You follow? They're clean. It's cleaned up.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I wasn't sure of.
Yeah.
This is why I should have watched this before.
And I wish
so.
Patrick were here to be more specific.
Well,
the details would be nice.
That's not on him. He just Nemo said, yeah, he just reads the whole thing. Well, that blows.
It does.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, Burns, I agree. I think it's too boring. I was kind of counting on him to veer off track somewhere, but maybe. Let me just 240.
And I've got Patrick's video here ready to play.
Oh my God! This is like, how did he do that? Maybe this is stitched together over a couple of calls, or did they allow him a 30-minute call? Because this is a half an hour. I don't know. We'll see how far we make it in here, gang. Because I ain't trying to watch a half hour of Chile just reading through this idiocy. Say something stupid, man. Oh, by the way, Burns, if you guys go to Burnsy's channel, maybe if Linda's around. Is Linda here?
Yep.
Sorry, I didn't see.
Yep.
Maybe she could put his channel in there. He I guess his band, I think it was 2009, was opening for Foreigner. I'm not sure where that was. Was that in Germany, Burns? Was that it? Or where was that? But pretty good stuff, man. Yeah, Burnsy's a real musician too. I bet he doesn't like Corey Feldman either.
Could not safely conduct his investigation. No matter how many times the state claims that De Castro did not back up, the video evidence and exhibits belie this claim. A reviewing court can simply view the video and video photos and observe that Mr. De Castro complies with the officer's command by stepping back. This fact alone demonstrates the state's insufficiency of the charge. Why would the state continuously make a claim that is contradicted by video and still photos? The United States Supreme Court has condemned prosecutors for obtaining convictions based on false testimony, Napu versus Illinois. Even firmly established Supreme Court case law has not deterred the state from advancing a false narrative. You can clearly see in the exhibits, which I was standing here, I'm standing inside of the white stripe of the parking structure, and then I go 4 feet back from the white stripe from the parking space structure. And then it keeps going.
4 feet.
Notably on appeal, the state has abandoned this imaginary 21-foot rule because there is no 21-foot rule. It doesn't exist. At trial, both the cop and the prosecutor argued a 21-foot rule exists, and the worst part about it is that the judge said, oh, there is some 21-foot rule. We objected. It didn't matter. However, the state does not dispute the legal rationale enunciated in Glick versus Cunniff, where the United States Court of Appeals for the Third Circuit addressed the excessive force allegation by making a plaintiff who was filming from 10 feet away. In this case, the officer admitted that Mr. De Castro was 10 feet away while filming him. The Glick case provides relevant guidance here. In Glick, the court affirmed that citizens have a right to film police activity and noted the plaintiff was 10 feet away from the police. Here, Mr. De Castro was also 10 feet away and followed the officer's command to back up. The state is openly violating the Constitution by continuously ignoring the case law and presenting a false narrative. That Mr. De Castro refused to back up and enforce an imaginary 21-foot rule. The state assertions are entirely defeated by the video evidence and uncontradicted federal law. This is the reason why I didn't get a super high-end lawyer. Because I believed that because it was on video, the prosecutor and judge would follow their fiduciary duty and say, well, he did what he was supposed to do.
Did he just say fiduciary duty? I don't think that word means what he thinks it means.
That's not what happened here. We'll talk more about that later. Let's keep going.
Oh,
Letter A.
good.
Cases cited by the state. In their brief, the state cites numerous cases which all assist Mr. De Castro. The state cites numerous cases regarding the First Amendment based on reasonable time, place, and manner restrictions. In a footnote, the state appears to take offense to De Castro's reliance on the George Floyd case. The state appears to argue that the reliance on the Floyd case is misplaced. However, the state also cites Fields versus City of Philadelphia for the proposition that the First Amendment encompasses the public right to access government information. Actually, the case cited by the state establishes exactly why Mr. De Castro relied on the Floyd decision. In Fields, the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Third Circuit considered the case of a watchdog group that was filming police at a protest in the Philadelphia Convention. Ironically, the Fields Court utilized the exact same reasoning as Mr. De Castro. It read this in the Fields' opinion. In 1991, George Holliday was recording video of the Los Angeles Police Department officers beating Rodney King and submitted to the local news. Filming police on the job was rare, but common now. With advances in technology and the widespread ownership of smartphones, civilians' recording of police officers is ubiquitous. These recordings have both exposed police misconduct and exonerated officers from errant charges. However, despite the growing frequency of private citizens recording police activity, and it's important to all involved, some jurisdictions have attempted to regulate the extent of this practice. Individuals making recordings have also faced retaliation by officers, such as arrests on false criminal charges and even violence. This case involves retaliation, as does mine. Officer Vork lost his mind. His face was beet red. He was so mad. I was there filming him, and I called him a little dog. You can hear that in a second. Continuing in the bottom of page 4.
Yeah.
In essence, the Federal Court of Appeals for the Third Circuit, when considering the retaliatory nature of police departments arresting private citizens for filming, began their legal analysis by citing an incident on the other side of the country, wherein a private citizen was recording the beating of Rodney King. The Fields case, which was decided in 2017, 3 years before George Floyd's trial, Mr. De Castro embarked upon the same legal analysis cited by the George Floyd case. The state scoured the United States case law and located a case that entirely supports De Castro's claim. The appellate court must wonder whether the state even read the Fields decision before citing it and complaining about De Castro's reliance on the George Floyd case.
So again, this is the exact version that Pat already talked about. Ram went bye-bye, everybody. I'm not sure.
No, I didn't. I was talking to you in the background.
Oh, yeah.
I was trying to get that info. Okay, I got you. I
posted
Burns' gotcha.
thing in the chat.
Yeah, I'm back.
Is that a good idea? I think I've heard Pat say it's probably not a good idea to like question the court in this manner. You know, did you guys even read this? I mean, that seems pretty foolish way to word that. You know, the appellate court must wonder whether the state even read the Fields decision.
Next, the state cites Smith versus City of Cummings, which establishes a First Amendment right to videotape and photograph police conduct. The state cites Turner versus Driver, which is in your trifold and also on the cop card, where the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit reversed the lower.
Yeah. Lovely unauthorized practice of law cards. Hey, MSG, yeah. I see Linda put your racing channel in there too. Good. Yeah, I want to pump that up. You put some fun stuff over there. And hello, MSG.
Decision to provide qualified immunity for 2 cops for an unlawful arrest in the violation of the Fourth Amendment, based upon an arrest for filming a police station. Nothing in these cases supports the state's position. Instead, they further bootstrap Mr. De Castro's position. Moreover, the state relies on Askins versus U.S. Department of Homeland Security. In Askins, the court considered the filming by private citizens of a United States port of entry on the Mexico border. Ultimately, the Ninth Circuit remanded the case based upon the district's court's dismissal of the plaintiff's First Amendment claim that the plaintiff was wrongfully arrested for filming. How does this advance the state's case?
So what does he's saying George Floyd has, he cited it because it has something to do with it, but how? I'm not following that. And also, you have the right to film the police. You were not arrested for filming the police. You were arrested for obstructing. So there.
It doesn't. So when you go on LexisNexis, if you're an attorney, you can put in there time, place, and manner, First Amendment, and it will spit out a bunch of cases for you. That's what the district attorney did. And what my lawyer did, Chris Orem, he went and read every single one of the cases and said, all of these cases work in our favor. And that's what he's pointing out here. And then in the next case, this is great.
Yeah. How does this, again, that smart alecky, how does this advance the state's case? I mean, it's ridiculous.
And here's what Orem does just beautifully in this one. Bottom of page 5, last paragraph. Finally, the state relies upon ACLU versus Alvarez for the proposition that the police may take reasonable steps to maintain safety and control of a crime scene. The case involved the prosecution of an individual who was recording police under a retaliatory eavesdropping statute. The Alvarez court reasoned on the merit of the state's attorney has staked out an extreme position. She contends that openly recording what police officers say while performing their duties in a traditional public forum, street sidewalks, plazas, and parks, is wholly unprotected by the First Amendment. This is an extraordinary argument. Again, the state's reliance upon the numerous cases cited in their brief either significantly assists De Castro or is misplaced. Comically,
it was a traffic stop.
Again.
He wasn't at the city park on the teeter-totter. Yeah, this was a traffic stop, and they're addressing the wrong thing. So
yes, yeah. I mean, it's the filming is not the issue. No amount of things that you cite is going to change that.
Standard by testifying that he backed up a couple of feet in response to the officer's commands, and that he did not interfere with the officer. However, it is worth noting that film from a distance of 10 feet away from an officer has been upheld as constitutionally permissible in the Glick decision cited by the state. In reality, it is the state that has fabricated its own arbitrary and shifting standard. At times, the state vehemently denies that De Castro backs up and instead provides their own imaginary standard of involving a 21-foot rule that's unsupported. It is the state that's creating their own unconstitutional standard in direct violation.
Well, at least it's an argument.
Case law. So let's talk about these two paragraphs on page 6. Comically,
Which
the state has
they've been
De
lacking
Castro's
in.
attempt to create his own standard. I'm going by a standard created in the case called Glick versus Cunniffe. I know exactly what I'm doing. When I tell the cops I'm not moving my feet, that's because I'm more than 10 feet away, and I know it for a fact. You guys have seen me do it dozens of times. And I explained to them, I did back up a couple feet just to make sure I was at least 10 feet away. I'm explaining to them that I'm following constitutional case law outlined by the District Court, Circuit Court, or Supreme Court of America. Back down.
Did you hear him say anything about that? I heard him say something about the U.S. versus Rodriguez, which has nothing to do with anything.
Nothing to do with it.
Paragraph number 3 on page 6. The state repeatedly argued time, place, and manner for restrictions throughout their brief. However, when Mr. De Castro recorded this interaction, it was in broad daylight in a safe area of a large parking lot during a traffic stop in which Castro approached the officer and the woman in the vehicle and openly identifies himself as a member of the press.
Nothing has ever happened in broad daylight in a shopping center.
Never.
No, like
there's never been a traffic stop. Never happened.
Let me see the North Hollywood shootout.
Oh yeah. Yep. From the bank robbery.
Yeah. Yep. Gee. Yeah. Nothing ever unusual happens.
One of the largest shootouts in the country.
Yeah, never, and nothing ever happens in a large parking lot during the daytime. That's why I constantly am just in large parking lots during the daytime to stay safe.
Why is De Castro's recording of a routine traffic stop considered inappropriate in terms of time, place, or manner? What alternative time, place, or manner could De Castro have chosen to record this interaction more appropriately? And this goes to Orum's basic argument. If the cop had been choking and killing the woman, then I would be a hero. But because it was just a routine traffic stop, then they criminalized me and they put me in jail. The United States Constitution and federal case law unequivocally affirms the right of citizens.
And if I wouldn't have drank the Kool-Aid,
the images of citizens filming the murder of George Floyd in close proximity to the officers serves as a definitive evidence of this right. Notably, the individuals who heckled and filmed the officers in the George Floyd murder were closer to the officers than Mr. De Castro was in this case. The federal court for the Third Circuit acknowledged that the citizen who filmed Rodney King beating played a significant role in shaping considerations related to the filming of Philadelphia police decades later. Even a cursory review of the body cam footage clearly demonstrates that when Mr. De Castro used provocative and challenging language, the officer became enraged towards Mr. De Castro, not because he was frightened, but because he was insulted.
Did he look enraged to anybody else?
Yeah, really, and
he didn't even really. I mean, he you know, when he said he was going to put him in cuffs was after Chille swatted away his hand.
That's right.
I mean, he was resisting. Give me a break.
He then grabs De Castro in an aggressive manner, which ultimately will be problematic for the officer in federal court. You bet it will. Officer Bork is being sued in federal court, as is Sandoval, and as is the supervisor. I'm suing all of them, and they're going to lose. They had
Yeah, sure they will.
No right to do this. I should not be in jail. In our society, police officers are expected to endure significant burdens caused by citizens who exercise their First Amendment right. See Houston versus Hill. Houston versus Hill is on your trifold and on your cop card. Unfortunately, the officer was unable to control his behavior in the face of provocative and challenging speech. Mr. De Castro's convictions must be overturned based upon a violation of the First, Fourth, and 14th Amendment to the United States Constitution. Number two, there's four arguments that Orem is putting forward, and this is the second argument, bottom of page 7. Count 1 and 2 must be
does that mean we're halfway
NRS
through?
Code 197.190 and NRS Code 199.280.3 are void due to being unconstitutionally vague and ambiguous. I'm going to refer to these simply as obstruction when they come up here and resisting. I'm not going to say the codes every time. I'm just going to say obstruction for 197 and resisting for 199. Obstruction and resisting are constitutionally vague and ambiguous as applied to Mr. De Castro's case. De Castro did not intentionally hinder or obstruct the officer from issuing a citation to the driver. Additionally, De Castro did not resist arrest as he was unlawfully arrested. At trial, the officer was unable to articulate how De Castro's behavior obstructed his ability to complete his duties. The officer simply testified, "Again, I don't know what his intention is. I don't know if he's armed. All I saw him was recording, which again, I had no issue with. I told him I didn't have an issue with." Not only did De Castro not attempt to hinder the officer, he instructed the officer to go get in your car, little doggy, and write your ticket. Mr. De Castro was convicted of it.
He just attempted to control the officer scene for him. Nice. He was just trying to be helpful.
Attempting to obstruct the officer, despite the fact that he actually told the officer to write a ticket. Remember, you have to intentionally go there, willingly trying to hinder or obstruct the officer to be charged with obstruction. Second paragraph down, page 8. Again, the state cites cases that further bolster Mr. De Castro's arguments. For instance, the state cites Stubbs versus Las Vegas Metro Police Department.
That is hilarious. He actually told the officer to go to write a ticket. Like, it's okay, officer, go write your ticket. That is really funny. Congratulations, Chille.
Stubbs, an attorney decided it would be advisable to stand next to his biker client while the police were attempting an arrest. Stubbs was repeatedly told to step away from the client during the stop. Stubbs argued he had a right as the attorney to stand shoulder to shoulder with his client during the traffic stop. While armed, the Ninth Circuit determined there was probable cause for the arrest of the attorney. Mr. De Castro agrees with the Ninth Circuit decision. An attorney does not have a right to stand shoulder to shoulder with his client
Oh,
during
well,
arrest
that's good.
while armed, ignoring repeated commands of the police. Stubbs is completely distinguishable from this case. In other words, the Stubbs case, you could not apply it to my case because I didn't try to go stand shoulder to shoulder with another person while I was carrying a gun. On February 22nd, 2024, the Nevada Court of Appeals examined obstruction in Wilson versus First Judicial Court of Nevada.
Wait, is that an argument that the prosecutors are making? I mean, the state is making?
No.
The Stubbs thing?
No.
Then why the fuck is it in there?
Because this is Chille. I'm wondering if Orem wrote this and Chille took it and butchered it himself, or is Orem really writing this?
If we're, unless the state was arguing on Stubbs, why even put that in there? Like, see, this has nothing to do with this.
Just like the daylight thing. Terry versus Ohio was daylight too, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
Yeah,
Jesus.
I know. It's just
the court determined that specific intent to hinder, delay, or obstruct is a requirement of the statute. Let me say this again. On February.
Well, the judge said, "Hey, it seems like this is his thing. He deliberately does this." So she recognized it. I mean, it's hard not to.
As she said, pattern. There seems to be a pattern.
Exactly.
February 22nd, the Nevada Court of Appeals examined obstruction, NRS Code 197.190. The court determined that specific intent. I'm a First Amendment auditor. My intent is to film what the cop is doing.
Okay, he said that again very distinctly.
Yep.
I have never heard him call himself a First Amendment auditor before. Have any of you guys?
If it was casual in passing. He's never been that animated about it.
Yeah, he's not said constitutional law scholar once. I wonder what happened there.
That's still curious. A turd, no matter how he polishes.
Well, we're not done with the video. I mean, he might slip one in there, but we'll see. He did slip in 2 ads for the trifold.
Yeah.
Real quick.
That is my intent. My intent is not to hinder, delay, or obstruct. And it said the court determined that specific intent to hinder, delay, or obstruct is a requirement of the statute. The court further held, therefore we interpret obstruction as applying only to physical conduct and fighting words. The court further explained that blocking the path of an officer may amount to obstruction. The court cited Washington versus Hudson, where non-aggressive behavior may cause obstruction. In Hudson, the court found obstruction where the defendant was stopped while driving and proceeded to flee from police officers who had drawn their weapons. So, in other words, what this says right here is that the district attorney is citing a case called Washington versus Hudson and saying that this case applies to my case. Okay, and what Orem is saying...
Okay, so he's saying that they are saying the district attorney is using Hudson. Are we sure that he didn't say the same thing about Stubbs? Or it didn't? I don't remember him saying that. But oh well, let's move on. We'll revisit that.
Is hold on a minute. You mean when he was pulled over and then ran from the cops? It's completely distinguishable. They're 2 different cases. Mr. De Castro agrees that fleeing from a lawful traffic stop amounts to hindering and obstruction. I love page 9 here because this really kind of wraps into a nice little present. In Wilson, the court reasoned, as construed by this court, obstruction prohibits only physical conduct and fighting words that hinder, delay, or obstruct a public officer in the discharge of official duties or powers. As such, law enforcement has no discretion to arrest persons for protected speech or for physical conduct that is merely annoying or offensive.
Okay.
In Wilson, the court determined that the real issue was whether there was sufficient evidence to convict Wilson of the obstruction charge and whether the district court had properly considered the issue on appeal. The appeals court explains this right here. The district court did not have the benefit of our interpretation of obstructing, NRS 197190, as being limited to physical conduct and fighting words, and it therefore did not consider whether there was sufficient evidence that Wilson engaged in physical conduct or uttered fighting words so as to support her conviction of violation of obstruction. The court remanded the case for the district court to properly review the issue considering the ruling. The Wilson decision was filed less than a month before De Castro's trial. This court should consider the rationale enunciated by the Wilson court in determining the sufficiency of the evidence to convict and whether the statute was constitutionally as applied to De Castro. In other words, they're saying that the Nevada Supreme Court has already said that obstruction means it's a physical act, as I told the cop on the scene. Last paragraph, page 9. Mr. De Castro was never seen physically attempting to obstruct the officer. Additional, although his words may be considered provocative or challenging, and Orem likes to use the word annoying, but I don't think it was annoying. I think my words were provocative and challenging. Both state and federal courts have identified that the language Mr. De Castro used is protected.
We'd have to have a whole separate trial for that.
Yeah. Sorry.
Mr. De
Stuck a
Castro
cord.
invited the officer to write a ticket, which is the opposite of obstruction and hindering. This is simply a case of an officer who...
That is hilarious. Like, he thinks his input into the officer writing a ticket.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead and do your job, officer.
Yeah.
But
I command you to do so.
Yeah, he wasn't even going to write a ticket. But, like, this guy is just so fucking full of himself. It's crazy.
Annoying.
And retaliated against Mr. De Castro.
Annoying.
He's going to have big problems in the federal civil rights lawsuit. Mr. De Castro never resisted a lawful arrest. The officer inexplicably grabbed him in anger, not the other way around. This was an unconstitutional and unlawful arrest.
Well,
Mr. De
that's
Castro
kind of
videos, yeah.
demonstrably false via the
Yes.
video evidence, but sure, just say it.
never willingly resisted the police officer from attempting to discharge his legal duty. The officer was acting unconstitutionally and unlawfully. In fact,
how?
Yeah, he's pushing it there.
Mr. De Castro requested the officer contact his supervisor based on Mr. De Castro's belief, and I knew that the officer was acting in an unlawful and unconstitutional manner.
I knew it.
Therefore, both statutes are unconstitutionally vague and ambiguous as applied to De Castro.
Didn't the supervisor show up
He did.
on that one?
He did.
Because Chille was begging him to let him out.
Actually, there was 3 on the scene.
Yeah, there was a good number of officers, but I believe that, yeah, because he was begging there's the other body cam footage of Chille pleading with him to let him go.
Yep.
Number 3, and this is where we get to the judge. And this is limited because in my federal civil rights lawsuit against this judge.
Sorry, I forgot to add, like a bitch. I meant to add that at the end. Sorry.
I'll go much more into detail, but number 3 says here, Mr. De Castro was denied his state and federal constitutional rights when his trial was presided over by a judge with a prejudice against Mr. De Castro and a bias in favor of Metro and the state. During the trial proceedings, the trial judge demonstrated a bias against De Castro.
That's quite a long title.
First, the trial begins with the court announcing the court is the judge. That Mr. De Castro would have to empty his pockets and give up your phones, and stated, "Yep, I really don't want to be a part of your YouTube channel." Defense counsel was ordered to turn off his phone. So just so you know here, when the judge said, "Yep, I really don't want to be part of your YouTube channel," my YouTube video was never submitted to the judge. The only videos that the judge saw were the cops' body cam footage.
So what?
Yeah. Maybe she watched his channel.
Yeah, and she doesn't. First of all,
It's public information. She's not exempt from being
first of
able
all, it
to...
was already being recorded, but I think that's perfectly reasonable. And especially given his reputation. I mean, it doesn't take long to figure out what he's about. It certainly didn't take her long.
He had to personally go to my YouTube channel and watch it. In answering brief, the state argues that the filming of the court proceedings is governed by the Nevada State Supreme Court rules. The state claims that the court was simply ensuring that no one else was going to film without the court's permission. However, conspicuously absent from the state's analysis is the court's failure to demand that the prosecutor turn off her cell phone or surrender her cell phone to the marshal. Evidently, Mr. De Castro and his attorney were singled out in this directive. The court did not enforce a universal prohibition on recording. Rather, the court directed the requirement exclusively to De Castro and his attorney. Here, the court was clearly singling out Mr. De Castro and his lawyer. The state's position, if applied, violates the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment of the United States Constitution.
Look, here's what's going on. None of this is applicable. All right. He's trying to cover everything that happened in the trial, and he's thinking in terms of a federal lawsuit, not this appeal. And I realize it's a stepping stone, but there's only 1 or 2 subjects, if I understand Patrick Darcy correctly, that they should be focusing on. And here they are all over the place again. Everything that happened during the trial, he's talking about obstruction, he's talking about the arrest, and I mean, he's just going in order, and most of it's not applicable. I don't believe, not here, not now, not for this appeal, but maybe I misunderstood.
No, most of this does not seem to.
No, it's not. It just
apply.
He's polishing a turd.
Sarah Marie for 10 pounds says, and leave the driver in a potentially unsafe environment with a strange person who was being weird and aggro towards the cop.
Yeah.
Good point.
To simplify it, yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
he never
very
considered
good
the
point.
safety of the whole scene. No way Orm wrote this. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to say whether he did or not. I'm imagining Chille's hand is in there somewhere. Yeah, I really wish Pat were here because I'm sure he would be catching every one of these.
That's probably what he's doing. He's probably working on it.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Hopefully. Thanks, Sarah Marie. Appreciate you. All right, let's get back to this.
Or he's working for a living.
Well, we've already established that he doesn't have the judge was well within her rights to take away the phone.
Absolutely.
And the other stuff he leaves out about he was antagonizing the bailiff before the hearing even started, and acting, had his feet up on the furniture and shit like it was his living room or whatever van he's living out of.
Top of page 11. This is where Orem really breaks down a couple things, and we'll go over it paragraph by paragraph.
I agree, Glover Mom.
Mr. De Castro will rely upon the case law cited in his opening brief regarding implied bias with one exception.
Yeah, absolutely.
Superfluous Chile bullshit. That's exactly what you're hearing.
And if the judge can't make the rules in the courtroom, she can't order everybody to take off their pants and shit like that. But you know what I mean? Anything that's regarding the security or the compromising the proceedings, anything like that.
How about just integrity?
Yeah, well, yeah, integrity of the proceedings. That's what it was. Once again, you've crystallized my thoughts eloquently. Thank you.
The state recognizes a judge may disqualify herself from acting in any manner upon the ground of factual or implied bias. However, the state correctly notes that Mr. De Castro's attorney did not request disqualification. First, De Castro agrees with the state that this was yet another example of the failure of counsel.
Yeah, that shit's weird too. Mr. De Castro agrees. I would hope so. Yeah.
This is all the stuff that I love to watch, Patrick.
As if he has, and that's the stuff that probably if Chille made him put anything in there, it's shit like that. Just weird ego shit.
To effectively represent De Castro. However, the failure to object is not fatal to the issue. In other words, it's not a fatal error that my lawyer did not object because that can be overcome. She should have recused herself. The moment she was going to my YouTube channel and watching it, she should have recused herself. However, the failure to object is not fatal to the issue.
She might not even have watched his videos. She just might have been aware of his general, the fact that he has one, and I'm sure it's in the paperwork there somewhere, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So,
it's been brought to her attention, I'm sure.
And I'm sure she's come across an idiot like Chille at some point or become, aware. So again, this guy, he thinks he's so slick.
Blandino's got a reputation in that court. So
right. Yeah. And not to mention the fact that the guy tried suing the department once already, and he's making threats to officers about suing him and stuff. Just a million ways she could have heard about it.
Echevarria versus Filson. The court reversed the capital murder conviction of the petitioner who had been convicted of the murder of an FBI agent in Los Angeles. The Ninth Circuit noted.
Spirit Hunter, I think she said that in the right here. What are you saying is I thought she said during the trial that the video she saw his videos and his disrespect for the law. I'd have to go back and listen to exactly what she said, but I think that was during the appeal. I think she said something like that's different than what he's saying on his videos because once
it was Orem. She said to Mr. Orem, she goes, I don't think you've watched his, or no, she says, have you watched his work?
He was trying to apologize.
Right.
Hey, what's up, Anthony? Good to have you. And then she said he's going to go say otherwise on his videos later. And he's making prison calls talking smack about the judge and everybody. So yeah, of course I could have gotten back to her, and there's, so what if it did?
That the Nevada State Supreme Court had made the decision based on whether the trial judge was subjectively biased. The court also noted the Nevada State Supreme Court had a similar stake in Rippo versus Baker. The appropriate question is whether the average judge in that position is likely to be neutral or whether there is an unconstitutional potential for bias. In Echeverria versus Filson, the Ninth Circuit reiterated that the test for judicial bias requires only showing an undue risk of bias based upon psychological temptations affecting an average judge. So right there, let me say this again. The Ninth Circuit reiterated that the test for judicial bias requires only a showing of undue risk of bias based upon psychological temptations affecting the average judge. We'll go to the very beginning of the trial. The judge says, I'm not going to be a part of your YouTube channel. Obviously, she was psychologically affected by the cameras being in the courtroom. This is why no judge in America wants.
Right. What's that channel that broadcasts the whole thing? What was that again? They broadcast the whole unedited thing. She didn't seem to have a problem with them. This seems a risky proposition to me, like questioning a judge over something so flimsy.
And she didn't say. She said, I do not want to be a part of your YouTube channel. That's not what he just said. And it's none of this matters anyway. He's setting all this up for a federal lawsuit. He thinks this is going to make its way through. This has nothing to do with his appeal. I mean, he's already outside the bounds of what I understand Patrick Darcy explaining he should be concentrating on. So anyway.
This is probably not a good path to continue down, but he's gonna. I feel could be
that's
wrong,
why I don't think this is all Orem. I agree with Glover.
Yeah.
Mom. I think he's reading over what he was given.
Oh yeah, I don't doubt it. I sense some sort of slam on the judge coming up from Chille. He seems to sort of be trying to control himself here, but there's been some stupid slip-ups.
Yeah, married to a cop will be next.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was expecting. Yeah. Thanks, Draco, for the $2 and over 170 people watching.
All right.
Cool. So please click that like. Definitely appreciate you, Draco. Also,
very few. There might be some, but there are
for
very
3
few because
months.
psychologically affects them when the public watches what these judges are doing. And this judge is going to have big problems when I sue her. She's going to be held accountable. The Ninth Circuit noted that a showing of a constitutional...
That counts, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to sue her. I'm going to teach her. That counts, right? It's shit talk, for sure.
Intolerable risk of bias does not require proof of actual bias. The Ninth Circuit noted that a showing of a constitutionally intolerable risk of bias does not require proof of.
Repeating it like that is not going to help you, Chille.
Actual bias. See Williams versus Pennsylvania. Neither Mr. Echeverria nor his co-defendant, Carlos Gurry, originally objected to the trial judge. However, both defendants were permitted new trials based upon the implied bias. Mr. Gurry's conviction was reversed by the district court and the ruling upheld by the Nevada Supreme Court in an unpublished opinion. Here, Judge Ann Zimmerman was clearly biased against Mr. De Castro, as is established in the facts enunciated in the opening brief and in this reply.
Wow.
The trial judge should have recused herself sua sponte. In other words, she should have said, you know what? I went to his YouTube channel and I watched a bunch of his videos and I've decided that he hates cops, so I'm going to recuse myself because she was married to a cop.
There it is.
Yeah, there's that one.
Herself, but she didn't.
So we got 2.
Point 4. Mr. De Castro received ineffective.
That is a stretch by any measure. Yeah, I thought he said he did some data scraping at some point, proving that, like, I don't know, it didn't seem to help him anymore, and he hasn't brought it up since. So these are just wild allegations, really.
Assistance of counsel. De Castro received ineffective assistance of counsel pursuant to the 6th and 14th.
Yeah, good point. She divorced a cop too, Duavico. Or maybe he divorced her, but either way, they're not together anymore. I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's bad logic, that's for sure. You're right.
Amendment of the United States Constitution. Mr. De Castro would rely upon legal standards of ineffective assistance of counsel enunciated in his opening brief in the state's brief. The Nevada State Supreme Court has held, we have generally declined to address claims of ineffective counsel on direct appeal unless there has already been an evidentiary hearing or where an evidentiary hearing would be necessary. Pellegrini versus State. In this case, ineffective assistance of counsel can be established without the need for an evidentiary hearing. Trial counsel failed to file pretrial motions addressing the First Amendment issue litigated in this appeal. Counsel further failed to file a motion regarding the statutes utilized to convict Mr. De Castro in this case. Additionally, counsel also failed to argue judicial bias.
Wait a minute. It was filed. It was filed the morning of the trial, correct? Remember he didn't get it filed. It didn't get filed until the morning of the trial. The prosecutor said, I just received it this morning, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was what he's talking about, right? The First Amendment approach to the defense of the trial. So it just doesn't mean a damn thing.
Well, it'd be better. Yeah, he should have just stuck to the Wilson thing and the loosey-goosey statute aspect of it, rather than going this First Amendment crap and trying to make it about that, because
he thinks in terms of reversal, like he's going to lay enough out there they're going to say, oh, we're sorry, Chile. We're sorry, bud.
Yeah,
go back to your life. we take it back.
Our bad. Just Jenny, thanks for being a member for 2 months. Appreciate you. Thanks everybody for being here, by the way.
Yeah, really.
Appreciate it.
Crowd.
If you go to the 5-6 doc appendix of the appeal, page 64, someone wrote a note to the court on 312 telling them that Chile's records court sections. Oh, that's how the judge knew. There you go. Of the appeal. Wait, 5-6. Oh, it's just noting that after the fact, then. I think that's what you're saying, KMB. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but thanks for that info.
Yeah, March 12th, right. March 12th would have been prior to the hearing.
Someone wrote a note on 312. Oh, yeah. Jeez, I don't know what the hell I just read. My brain processed something entirely different there. I see but
hey, what it says is if you go to May 6th doc,
of the appeal,
right,
yes.
Right.
I see. Of the appeal documents. Yes, that's what I meant. After the fact,
there you go.
It's noting that, because that's the first time I've seen that anywhere in a document. So thank you, KMB. Appreciate it. Thanks for the $20.
So much.
And let's do the rest of this.
Lays out what my attorney failed to do. De Castro's lawyer failed to file a pretrial motion addressing the First Amendment issues. He didn't file a brief that said, here's the First Amendment issues. You have Glick versus Cunniff. You have Turner versus Driver.
I would like to hear from me on that.
In their rebuttal are the cases that he
right.
Yeah, I'd like to hear from me. Like, wait a minute, you're going to blame that on me? You were calling the shots here.
I
don't think he could even probably publicly.
Right. It's almost like he's I know, but he's humiliating me.
Yeah, no, that's why any lawyer considering taking on Chile as a client better wear, like, some sort of
spandex.
Just some sort of knife-proof thing on your back, because he'll just throw you under the tires at his convenience. Oh, I didn't see Sarah Marie again. Thank you. 2 pounds. Maybe he should have gone to a strategy meeting. Yes, thank you for the reminder of that. Excellent point. That he was sitting in court prior to the hearing with his feet up on the table, as we said, when he was supposed to be meeting with Mr. Me in his office to go over all this important stuff. Thanks for the reminder on that. Excellent point. And thanks, Scriptcat, for being a member for 3 months. Appreciate you. Glad I don't have to suffer this guy alone. I've got you all.
Should have submitted to begin with. Counsel further failed to file a motion regarding the statutes utilized to convict Mr. De Castro in this case, that the statute 197.190 was unconstitutionally vague and ambiguous as applied to me. Additionally, counsel also failed to argue judicial bias. The moment that judge had me searched, the moment she screamed out loud, she's not going to be a part of my YouTube channel, my lawyer should have stood up and said...
She screamed it.
Mm-hmm.
She looked pretty crazy, the judge, I admit. She
stood up.
Screaming and, waving her gavel. And
I need you to declare a mistrial. Obviously, you're biased. But he didn't do that. In their answering brief, the state asserted that the trial counsel filed a bench memorandum citing relevant case law concerning the First Amendment claim. He did the day before trial. However, the state neglected to mention that the memo was filed untimely. The trial judge noted that she never received a copy of the memo, and the prosecutor requested that the motion be stricken, and it was. Consequently, the court did not consider the memorandum, and Mr. De Castro was promptly found guilty following the discussion about the memo. Now on appeal, the state argues De Castro received effective counsel, even though the prosecutor and the court found the memo untimely and moved to strike it, and they did. Had counsel properly litigated the issues before and during the trial, the result at trial would have been different.
Oh, really? You're pretty sure about that?
Yeah.
Well,
it's a stretch.
Well, yeah, it would have. Yeah, technically, any change would make it different. But I mean, that doesn't mean anything. It's just a general statement.
He wasn't convicted under the First Amendment anyway. That wasn't the
exactly.
This is all superfluous bullshit.
I know. It's just insane. Like, yeah. And I mean, Wilton seemed to be a gift dropped down to him, and he's not utilizing it properly.
The Nevada Court of Appeals explained that the district court did not have the benefit of their decision. The Nevada Court of Appeals they're talking about is the Nevada State Supreme Court. Moreover, in the present case, the trial judge was not informed of the Wilson decision, which was rendered 30 days of the trial. The trial judge should have had the opportunity, as this court does now, to have the issue thoroughly and properly litigated in its entirety. Therefore, reversal is mandated based upon the First, Fourth, Fifth, Sixth, and 14th Amendment of the United States Constitution. Conclusions. Wherefore, based upon and above foregoing, Mr. De Castro respectfully requests that the court reverse his conviction. This date, June 18th, 2024.
Sounds pretty serious.
Now, this is going to be heard July 10th in front of Michelle Levitt in the district court.
Just before because I feel like this is when he's going to start really saying crazy
and
stuff. And
Michelle Levitt's the one that handled the Blandino case too, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah. They don't seem to have a high tolerance for fooling around with this kind of nonsense from what I've seen so far. Spirit Hunter, let's look at the big picture when all is said and done. How much is he making from all this? He's going to get a pretty good... I don't think so. I know his channel's definitely suffering because he admittedly, and I may or may not have seen the actual sales figures for what he makes off those trifolds. You'd be shocked. So if he's not, and that was what he was complaining about in some of the early calls from jail, was that his income's gone down to that of a fast food worker. Now, I'd say if you can be in jail and still make a fast food worker salary, you're doing pretty good. But yeah, it's certainly not what he's making. And God knows what his monthly expenses are with the amount I saw him pulling in, because that's just one aspect of it. People also like super chat him when he's live, but his live streams were essentially big commercials for the trifold. So once he wasn't able to do those, sadly the magnetic personality of Michael Eline is not he's not as charismatic as our dear Chille. So
you think?
And also I don't think Michael wants to open himself up by selling those pieces of shit. I think they should have some sort of disclaimer on there at the very least that says this was written, by a jackass. So bear that in mind. So, but I know he's lost a lot of income. I don't think his lawsuits are going anywhere. But then again, let's not forget, he raised like 50 G's from his gullible audience to fund having Orem write this goofy shit. So, I don't know. It's fun to imagine like what is happening behind the scenes there with Orem. Like, is he just, I don't know, is he like constantly trying to tell Chille, well, maybe, but then Chille just insisting, no, you have to put this in there. And like, it's got to be a nightmare for a lawyer dealing with him. I mean, I certainly would never take a case involving him. He's a troublemaker, that one. All right, let's see if he goes into the stratosphere here.
I feel like this reply definitely lays out every single point. See, I was standing here at one point. The cop asked me to back up. I backed up at least 4 feet. Now I was 14 feet away, at least 14 feet away, because I know how far 10 feet is. I've measured it 20 times.
That looked a little more like 2 feet to me, folks. But regardless, let's keep going.
At least more, to make sure that I stay 10 feet away from coppers when I film them. Typically what I do is I position myself maybe about 14, 15 feet away, so that the cop will walk up to me and say, hey, can you move over there, so I can tell him squarely in his face.
Now, that's not true. I don't know if he's meaning to say at traffic stops all the time he's 10 feet away, but he certainly was right up on those cops the last time he got arrested a year later for the same thing, which that hasn't even come up yet. So he's not always 10 feet away, not at all. And, his other arrest proves that. The video from his other arrest proves that.
No, I'm not going to move my feet. You guys have seen me do it dozens of times. That's because I know the case of Glick versus Cunniff. I know it backwards and forwards. I've studied it. I know what the limitations are. I know what my rights are. I just think it's absolutely hilarious that the state creates this magical 21-foot rule that they don't continue to argue, that they convicted me on a magical.
Yet he's in jail, and his first appeals got shot down, and it looks like his second isn't going to go any better. He knows this back and forth.
21-foot rule that does not exist. Then on page 6 here of the brief, it says, comically, the state claims that Mr. De Castro is attempting to create his own standard. I'm going by the standards that are laid out by the court, Glick versus Cunniff. And then the next paragraph down, it says,
really? Why isn't that on your... Why is this the first time I've ever heard you mention it before? Or why isn't it on your stupid trifold? Yeah, Yvonne makes an excellent point. Don't forget, Chille is a liar. Yeah, he's definitely unreliable.
In reality, the state has fabricated its own arbitrary and shifting standard. That first, I didn't back up, and then second,
Yeah, exactly, Chef. Why didn't he mention it in front of the judge? Exactly right. Yeah.
Oh, he just used three
But
words.
he knows it back and forth. Now, congratulations.
There's some magical 21-foot rule. It doesn't exist. It's not real. Had I not had a judge who clearly was biased, now I've been in this frickin' dungeon for over 3 months. And let me tell you something. It's been absolute hell.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
It's as though the idea of this jail is that you're being punished. And the folks who work here, about half of them, believe that it's their job.
Imagine that, going to jail to be punished.
Wow. I narrowly avoided choking. I picked the wrong time to drink coffee. Yeah, that was a close call.
Yeah, that's real clever.
I think my brain was a step ahead of my throat and just knew and said, yeah, what, just what? Fuck. Can't believe this
Imagine
guy,
that.
As much as I keep saying that, I can't believe this guy.
Can you believe that jail system offers and provides so many services for the inmates to utilize, but yet he's stuck in the dungeon being punished?
Yeah. Oh my God. That was something.
Punish me, Roy. Punish me.
Jeez.
To punish you day in and day out. It's jail. You're not supposed to like it. Things like that. I've heard that dozens and dozens of times. So you guys have now the reply brief?
Yeah. I wonder, because you seem to be expecting something else. I mean, that's just a fact.
It's also laughable.
Oh my God.
The hearing will be July 10th, 2024 here in Clark County. If you guys want to
Rod sale now.
I'm going to make sure that my people are not banned at the door. So reading this.
How are you going to do that exactly, buddy? How are you going to do that? I mean, you seem to have a pretty good rapport with the
bailiff,
with everybody there at the Department of Corrections so far.
Take care of my folk when they show up.
Yeah. Like, what's he gonna do if the judge decides not to let
anybody
a circus the same way Zimmerman was trying to prevent a circus with phones? Yeah. How are you gonna do that, buddy?
It's just kind of. It's almost like drinking bitter beer. You read this and you go, ooh, it just makes you cringe. The fact that they created some imaginary 21-foot rule and that they said that I was creating my own standards.
Yeah, that wasn't too good of an analogy.
No, not at all.
I'm going to give it a 2 out of 10.
It's when I was following the exact standards created by the court. Just a quick shout out.
But again, I didn't bring it up in court, but, well, to be fair, wait, did he say, no, he said Glick. He said Glick, not Wilson. Wilson wasn't around at that point, but the Glick, he could have brought that up at any time.
Thanks, you guys, for your support. I appreciate it. I really do. There's been a lot of things going on that I can't talk about right now. I'll talk about it when I get out of here. So today, by the time
after all the other bullshit he said on these phone calls, all the months of insanity that we've listened to, now he's got something secret he can't share with us now. That ought to be good. Yeah, Glover Mom, it is funny that all the judges are women. It just makes it extra funny because, it like irks Chile all the more. But they're good judges too. That's the nice thing. Put up with any nonsense.
When you hear this, it'll be June 26th, 2024, 14 days away from the appeal. I should be released from this dungeon on July 11th, 2024.
Which one of you wants to tell him? Not happening.
All right, I'll let you guys go. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate your support. So many of you guys have supported me. If you want to support me further, you can go to this secureustech.net and you can put $5 or $10 on my books for this phone because they charge you 16 to 18 cents a minute. Secureustech.net. My inmate number is 1669.
How much did he say?
15 to 18 cents a minute. And he just wasted a
18
shitload
cents.
of money. Yeah, that's
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna have to get the old calculator. So
and none of what he had to say meant 20 cents worth.
well, that's what I was gonna say. We just listened to $5.40 worth of bullshit. There you go, folks. Hope you got your money's worth out of that. Yeah, he's inmate ID.
561. Just $5 or $10, and if enough of you do it, then it'll be enough where I can keep making phone calls while I'm locked in this dungeon. This has been absolute hell. I can't.
Absolute hell.
I wish that I could say I was talking to another auditor on the phone the other day, and I said to him, I wish that I could say that this has been easy, and I've just gotten.
Yeah, another auditor. That's interesting too. I wonder if that. I mean, he hasn't said anything like that before. It's strange the emphasis on auditor in this call.
And the lack of constitutional law scholar.
Yeah, exactly.
Problem, but that's not true. It has been extraordinarily difficult, and it's difficult every day, every single day. From the time I wake up till the time I go to sleep. I relish when I get to go to sleep. When I get to go to sleep, sometimes I get to go to dreams.
Wow.
And they make the world a better place for me. Sometimes when I go to dreams, I'm right back in jail again. And it's worse. It's a darker dystopia than I'm living in now.
Don't pee in the pooper.
I'm sorry.
Don't pee in the pooper.
I was saying good night to Spirit Hunter there, and
and I've just slid right by, and it's been no problem. But that's my inmate number is 1669.
Sorry about this.
Just $5 or $10, and if enough of you do it, then it'll be enough where I can keep making phone calls while I'm locked in this dungeon. This has been
give till it hurts.
Hell. I can't. I wish that I could say I was talking to another auditor on the phone the other day, and I said to him, I wish that I could say that this has been easy, and I've just gotten through this, and I've just slid right by, and it's been no problem. But that's not true.
Yeah, but yeah, that's not true. Really? Thanks for catching us up, Chille. We noticed.
It has been extraordinarily difficult, and it's difficult every day, every single day. From the time I wake up till the time I go to sleep. I relish when I get to go to sleep. When I get to go to sleep, sometimes I get to go to dreams. And they make the world a better place for me.
Oh my God. Okay, so he just brought that auditor up sort of randomly. He was just saying all he was telling him was that he wishes he could say it's been easy. Okay, all right. So this dream part, this is Chille just talking about himself again. All right.
Sometimes when I go to dreams, I'm right back in jail again. And it's worse. It's a darker dystopia than I'm living in now. So with that being said, I'll let the editor get to work on this cut for my journalistic update for the day. Thank you so much for your support. We are Team DLZ. We don't stop. We don't quit. And we'll see if we can get around the judge's judicial immunity when I sue her federally for what she's done and the cop federally for what he did. I'm losing my voice. I got to get this walk out of here. Thanks for coming. I'll see you guys on the next one. Later, Gators.
Oh, brother.
Give me the screen real quick. It's only 60 seconds.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Chile de Castro. I have a very famous YouTube channel called Delete Laws. I'm known across the country and across the world. I was filming that cop because that's what I do for a living. I am a member of the press. I have thousands of videos to prove this.
So this is how you make money?
This is not how specifically I make money. I make money from selling legal documents to people.
Okay.
I should not have been detained after identified as a member of the press. If he ever reached a hand out towards me, I wrestle and teach MMA, and I have for 30 years. I certainly am a law-abiding citizen. I don't break the law.
So I just hate pigs.
I'm a constitutional law scholar. I'm not just some joke here. I sue lots of cops.
And you know what? I don't like any man having domination over me unless they earn it.
Enjoy your time away, Chille.
Wow, I've never heard that domination quote before. But that goes to what we were talking about before, that he has some sort of that domination is a large part of his psyche. Yeah,
I just thought I thought that was just a good reminder for all of us.
Oh, that was great. Yeah, that was your video. Really? Yeah, I missed that one somehow. That's great.
What, that short?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was back when I put out like 8 of them in one day. Remember?
Oh no, I don't remember that. Were you doped up or something, Ram?
Yeah, something like that.
8 shorts in one day. Holy crap!
Well, De Castro's got so much content.
Yeah, that's true.
After a couple of court cases and all his normal bullshit, it's really easy to put together a 60-second video.
Yeah. No man can dominate me unless I give them permission to. Holy fuck. That is something. Oh wait, I got a
Good
we
stuff.
have a yeah, well, he didn't disappoint. It was a long one. I wonder if he had to do that in sections or not, because I don't know. I wonder what his maximum phone call length is, because it seems to be he got kicked off the other ones and they were way shorter than that. So maybe that took him like 4 days to do or something.
It must be a cumulative time, because he's been quiet for quite a while. So I guess they must have some type of a accumulation of time or something that carries over or something. Because you're right, way longer. But we're not getting as many. We were getting what, 2, 3 a week sometimes. It's been a while since he's called.
Yep. I am excited to announce we do have a new sponsor for the show, by the way.
Yeah, Glover Mom, he probably did something special.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe he traded some Nutella from his commissary or something. Yeah. Yep, new sponsor. Yep, Kaiser brand baby gherkins. They're extra tiny, as you can see. And they'll never fill you up. So thank you to Kaiser brand low quality guaranteed pickles. Appreciate your support. Well, Bubba, I don't think Pat's gonna be joining us, unfortunately, but that's all right. We muddled through it okay.
Do you want to watch the video he put up yesterday?
Sure, yeah. I'm good with that if you all are.
I think it's a subset video. I haven't watched it yet, so it'd be kind of fun to watch.
Sure. Did you bring it up here?
I'm doing as we speak.
There he is.
Was that not jiffy enough for you?
It was plenty jiffy, pal.
Videos. Some of you have mentioned Jeremy Dewitte, and I've always been a fan of watching Motor One in action, his belly aching by the side of the road. It is entertainment. So why don't we do some police impersonator videos? Because there's a lot about the traffic stop that's interesting. So let's take a look. This guy's been busted before. He got into a road rage incident, threw on his lights. He knows the score. So let's watch.
Got a dash cam too if you ever want to pull that footage. It's got correctness on it.
You don't have any weapons in the car or nothing like that, right?
I have a weapon on my right, but that's my concealed.
Okay.
So he's carrying a gun.
You have it on you?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I'm not making sure not to even reach for it.
Okay. All right. Okay.
If you want, I can step out and you can disarm me if you want.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be perfect. Just don't reach for your gun, okay?
No.
You mind if I take it off of you?
No, go ahead.
Okay.
On the right hand side.
That's what you just said.
Now you'll notice that the cop doesn't really pat him down until later. I don't know why that cop is hanging back. He needs to be watching this guy, especially when someone's got a weapon. Also, you'll notice that the gun is left on the seat of that SUV.
I've just had it ever since and never took them off.
Okay.
Of course.
All right. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
So, did you have these lights put on?
These were, I'm an old security officer from California when I lived out there with one of our utility vehicles.
Okay.
So, and I've just had it ever since and never took them off. Only
Yeah.
they're red and amber. So they're not, not red and blue anymore.
All right.
Not red and blue. So he knows there's a regulation against that, which is suspicious if you're a cop. There's the gun, still just sitting there, not protected. All right. Eject the magazine, clear the chamber. Is that an 8-round?
Dennis, do you mind? How do you kick these lights on?
Oh.
Yeah, you can show me.
you want to move that first?
It's.
Yeah, go ahead and put your hands in the vehicle where the gun is with the magazine.
Unloaded.
Okay. So, the lights I hit were just the rears, which is us.
Yeah, that's a lie. He said they're just the rear. No, he has lights on the front.
Okay. Do these lights up here work?
Yes.
Okay. Let me see this real quick.
Once again, he's reaching right where the gun is.
No lights on the front?
No. Actually, well, I got an amber clear, but no red and blue. I can turn those on to where you should.
Okay.
So no, but, well, no red and blues.
Parking lot, black Honda Civic, last seen
As you can tell,
on 73, white female, one black male with a child in the seat and back seat. We did.
And I never even turned the front ones on. It was just the rear.
Never turned the front ones on. The witnesses that come in that called in the police said they were on. That's one of the things they saw right away was the front lights on. So another lie. The guy's body language is nervous as well.
John William Sam 4061. I'll be in the lot of.
Wow.
Does your siren work?
Yeah, you just push the manual button.
Yeah.
It'll chirp.
The sound of Jeremy Dewitte. I like what the cop did, though. The cop asked him to demonstrate knowledge of these things.
You know how odd this is, Dennis?
You'll notice that he says everything with an when he's asked a question. It's a delaying tactic, trying to figure out an answer.
You want it?
45.
I mean, I've had this truck. I've lived in Ohio for 6 years now. Never had an issue with it. I see you guys all the time.
Right.
I'm not stupid enough to try to do your job.
It's not that you're.
I like that. I haven't been caught yet, so.
Right. That's it. He just hadn't been caught. Nobody's called in on him. He's probably gotten more aggressive the longer he's gotten away with it. That, you know.
Oh, yeah. It gives him confidence to keep doing it.
Yep.
Transparent with you. All right.
And he won't be.
It's extremely odd that when I come up here and I ask you about the car, all right, you were delayed in your response. You're like, oh, you're talking about the minivan? Yes. The car that you have had issues with for the last 2 or 3 miles, and they're claiming that you're trying to ram them off the road, but you have lights, you have a siren on the car, you have a pistol on you, you have a spotlight, you have handcuffs. What's the handcuffs for?
He likes it rough.
Except from security, they've just been hanging there ever since. Spotlight doesn't even work.
You might run into Chile, you never know.
I like the rough stuff.
It's on video. You will clearly see it. I'm not ramming them or trying to get behind them at all. I'm trying to get as far away from them as possible, and they started following me, and that's why I pulled off.
They'll say exactly the opposite.
Okay.
They said that he was behind them and was close to the back of their car, and they could see his lights from the front of his vehicle, the lights he claims he doesn't use. They still haven't searched him yet.
Have you ever been arrested before or anything?
Years ago in California.
For what?
carrying a concealed weapon unlawfully.
And watch all the stuff they yank out of this guy's pockets. This would have been, I would have searched him right away, especially when you say he had a gun. We'd expect, oh, here we go, that's a knife.
Right.
That knife looks like it has a handle that can activate it on a spring.
Yeah, I kind of figured with the thumbnail and as hard as he was coming down on them at the early part of the stop that this was coming. It's pretty self-explanatory.
Motor 1, 1758 p.m. That's why he's wearing two shirts. There's another magazine.
All right, come on over.
A handcuff.
What's your name?
They have a history. Right, so he's going to talk to the people that called
He
in.
initially acted like he had no idea what I was talking about, and then once he realized
all the bullshit was up.
Yeah. So
Yeah, because if he would have got him and followed me into Walmart, I was whooping his ass in the parking lot. That
yeah. Okay. Did he say anything to you? or
No,
anything
I
like
mean,
that?
I tried to get away from him, and he's like, "That van won't get out of its own fucking way, man. It's a
Yeah.
minivan."
Right.
And I was like, I was just trying to get away from him.
Okay.
And he would have, and he's
Correct.
not. He's a
Yes.
wannabe.
Yes.
They really prey on women.
And then just turn to your right, please.
What side was that, Private File?
left side, sir.
You sure, Private File? Sir,
Nice,
sir.
Pat.
What side was that,
well
Private
done.
File? Sir, right side, sir.
Put your hands together for me, like you're clapping.
Good job,
Clap your
Patrick.
cheeks is what's going to be happening.
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
Wonder how the inmates are going to feel about a guy claiming to be a cop.
You're under arrest, my man.
For
Well, you have multiple priors for impersonating a police officer.
okay,
You have a pistol on you that you're not allowed to have.
why not?
You're
So there it is. There's the admission. He's not even protesting that. That's true. Now he's confused about the gun.
trying to stop him by turning your lights on and so on and so forth.
I
And
never
then
attempted to stop him at all.
You can't turn your lights on behind him with everything that you have going on in the car.
I never had the front lights
You're
on.
not an emergency vehicle whatsoever.
Okay,
Okay. You have been down this road before. Okay. All right.
There's the slam. This is like the sovereign citizen script, and this guy is not going to listen to it. He's heard enough. Here's the traffic vest.
What is that? What the fuck is that?
You know?
He's got red and blue lights right
There's
here.
the red and blues. Oh, there we go. Got the red and blue lights, and you can put it right on the dashboard. It fits. That is it. And then there's the Arby's that he never got a chance to eat. The City New York Police Department patch. I love the little note script right here. Handcuffs for the rough stuff.
Wow. Nicely done. You're muted, Ram. Yeah, well done, Patrick. Everybody out, please. Yeah, that was one of my favorite videos.
Top notch. Yeah, and I can hear Patrick now. I'm getting better, aren't I?
Yep.
Yes, you are, sir.
For sure,
You
man.
did.
Yep. Leaps and
There's just
bounds.
like
That was awesome.
there's like a minute left here.
Oh, my bad.
So there you have it. Speaking from a California perspective, if you have a person behind you and you're not sure they're a cop, what you could do is call 911, let them know that you have what you think could be a phony police officer trying to pull you over, and then ask for instructions. Usually they'll ask you to drive to a sheriff's department, police station or something, and you surrender there. What is he doing with this stuff? Is he looking to be Mr. Secret Service agent man when women are all alone on a road at night? And now he's going to exert his authority and pull them over? Who knows? But it's dangerous, and I'm glad they caught him. Let me know if you guys like these kind of videos. If so, I'll do more. Catch you on the next one.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh, is that Animal House?
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. Good
Well,
job,
that
Patrick.
was a bit of fun, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, gang, do you got anything else, Ram? Because otherwise, I think.
No, that's an awful good note to end on. What a good video to.
Agreed.
Very nicely done, Patrick.
Yes. Didn't miss any.
Yeah, really. The only other thing is, let's see. No, that's. I did put a video. I did put a video out today of a Amarillo or Albuquerque police officer being arrested for DWI on his way to work.
Oh, nice.
The YouTube doesn't like it too much, so it's not getting much activity because it's not getting the.
Oh, well, I got a way you can get 166 more views.
Yeah, yeah, it'd be nice to get it out there.
All you goofballs out there in the audience need to go watch it right now, please.
Yeah, I didn't put any nonsense in it or anything. I just wanted to spread the word because I wanted YouTube to monetize it. Because they fight me on every video I put up. They find a reason not to. So I made this one perfectly across the board. But it is, it's important that, that kind of information get out, because I got a comment from somebody that lived in Albuquerque and said, wow, this wasn't even on the news.
Yeah.
So the local news isn't covering it.
Well,
and, innocent until proven guilty, but still, it is what it is.
We're just a bunch of bootlickers over here, right?
That's right. Bunch of bootlickers.
Hey, is Derp here? Oh, hey, Derp. Cool,
hey,
man.
Derp.
Hey, did you respond to me yet? Because I responded to you. I think I might be singing something for Derp. Which should be fun. Hope unless you already got somebody lined up, and that's cool too. But yeah, cool. Okay, cool. Wait, you did reply to me? I'm looking here. I don't see nothing. Hold. You did find somebody? You want me to sing something for you right now? Well, it'll have to be something from the 80s because that's all I know. Oh, you saw your aim. Okay, cool. All right, cool. Yeah, I'd love to do that. Yeah, I don't sing. I don't sound like this when I actually sing. But I can sing in this voice, which I believe is what he wants me to do. So, you know what I mean? It's like singing as Arnold Schwarzenegger or something, I guess. So yeah, cool. Yeah, I can't wait. And we also got to finish that other thing, Derp, at some point. I'll send you over the intro part of it. Ooh, boy. Coming back hard. And hopefully next couple of days I will actually have a video. It's one I've been working on for like, 6 months. But it's not like the incident happened in 2015, so it's not like anything relevant. But it's a pretty incredible interaction between a cop and a cretin. So I don't know, when did Earl Warden come along? Because I'm thinking now, I didn't think about it until just now, but this guy was one of the early creepers, because he actually had I believe one of those type of Sony handycams. You know what I mean? It was clearly an older, lower resolution camera. But 2015, this stuff hadn't really taken off. It only started. I'm talking about the First Amendment. I mean, that took off kind of during pandemic time. Am I wrong about that? I mean, clearly there were some fringy people out there doing it. But this guy, this guy, he's a piece of work. He seems like he might have a shed you don't want to know about. You know what I mean? That kind of guy. So, anyway. I could keep talking all night if you want, Ram, or you could say something.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I was on the
yeah,
other browser. Sorry.
I'm paying you good money to
right.
me up here, buddy. Yeah, right. Yeah,
Can I hear that again?
That was a great response.
I have 100 and some witnesses, 150 witnesses. To,
Yeah,
what was that you said?
Yeah, right.
I got you.
Well, gang,
Sorry.
go watch Ram's video now. Give him the views, please. And I'd say that Pat Darcy video is worth another watch too.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, give him the views.
Yeah, and Derp, Derp, thanks for upgrading my little logo thing too. Yeah, I know what you're trying to say. My art isn't up to snuff. I get it. I appreciate that, buddy. Thank you so much for the backhanded compliment. But no, yeah, it looks great, man. The video is funny.
No,
that was a pretty funny short. I forgot. Sometimes I've forgotten most of the things I've made, to be honest. They're brought up to me. So, but that was pretty funny. I love what you did with it, man. Hey, let's play that one on the way out. It's fun. It's fun. Everybody's like sing you out, but I don't know. I might do a singing video. I might do like a members only. I was trying to decide doing something for just because I do like singing and I like karaoke stuff. I was thinking of doing like maybe a members only karaoke video for y'all. It'll either have to be like Rat or Alice in Chains or anything from the 80s. That's more or less all I know. Well, I know some 60s and 70s stuff too. If you want to hear Sister Christian, we can go there. If you want to hear a little Round and Round, I can do that for you. You want some Rooster?
Round.
Yep.
What is he building in there?
Probably do some Toto for you. We can reach way back at the back of the rack to the old wax. Yes, sir. Did I tell you all I started in minor market radio in the 80s? Could you guess, folks? Your last... You gotta be fucking kidding me. My last video was age restricted because it showed Chili's butt cheeks. Well, it's still monetized though.
Yeah.
So you only got half a cheek's worth. That's funny as hell.
Yeah, they did an age restriction on one of my videos, which was somebody else's video that just had narrative. So who knows? They make it up.
Be Journey you're thinking of there, sir. But yeah, no, that's a song you really don't want to attempt to well, the good news is if you do it, it really doesn't matter in a way because the whole karaoke bar will be singing along with you at full volume, so you don't really, that's a cheat song, that one. Or there's a song, God, man, I don't know it. I mean, I only know it through hearing. I know it's Mr. Brightside. It's super popular. Like, it's an easy way to get like millennials in a bar all excited. It's kind of like American Pie is to a boomer, I guess, or something. You know, like everybody sings along with it. Like it's anthemic. But there's a few cheat songs you can do in a karaoke bar. Do some Men Without Hats for you. Do a little safety dance for you. Yeah, Sting. Yeah, he's sort of at the top of my range. He's okay. I like some of the Police stuff. I find him to be a little, oh yeah, bad to the bone. Sure. George Thorogood. Elton John. Well, my wife would love that, Derp, because she's a huge Elton John fan. Yeah, I really wish I could share her stuff with you. Hopefully
yeah, Funeral for a Friend, Love Life's Bleeding is one of my favorites.
Yeah, she blows several of his songs out of the water. Sing safety dance. Sing that for when I'm in the raid with the safety dance. I don't know what in the raid means, but oh yeah, I do a good safety dance. Billy Squire. Yeah, he's all right. I don't think I've ever done it. I've done, I do Rebel Yell pretty well. And I used to do Eyes Without a Face too. And shit. Yeah, I wish I could Dirt, but I can't really. It's strategically not a good idea to do that. Unfortunately.
What is he doing?
Like a virgin. Maybe I could do. I think I'd probably burst into flames first of all. No. I could do the Weird Al Yankovic version, like a surgeon.
Right.
Yeah. We're in the same ballpark there, Glover Mom. It sounds like. Yeah, actually. My wife loves Cyndi Lauper too. There, Liz, and she does do a fantastic Time After Time. Yes, Flat Dirt YMCA, exactly. Young man. Sure. Yeah, Weird Al is pretty good. He does this. The next video I have another Weird Al Yankovic reference in it. I did have one of my Michael Leline videos. I had a Weird Al Yankovic reference as well. Yeah, you gotta love that guy. 83. Oh, yeah, we're in the same Black Betty.
Yeah, I already got struck on that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was just gonna say Rams had some problems in the Black Betty department. Getting compared to Cyndi Lauper, is that clothing wise or voice wise or what? In what way? Pretty Woman's a good song. I love. Yeah, Roy Orbison. What a voice.
What a great
voice. Can do pretty good. I also like Del Shannon. Little Runaway. That's good stuff. I like it. Yeah.
Hey, you're going back to my time.
Yeah, I kind of my musical. I mean, I know there's a few bands that are more recent that I really like, but after hearing like really, really good musicians and working with really, really good musicians, and just having less and less time to listen to everything that came down the pike. Probably the newest thing I've would maybe be like Tool or something like that. I mean, some filter into my vicinity here and there, and I'm kind of dimly aware of some stuff. And it's not like I'm a Luddite and I don't, I'm not just like fuck anything after 1989, or anything like that. I just, plus mainly if I'm involved in any music, it's usually my wife's and stuff.
Before you go any further, will you love me? Will you love me forever?
Elvis, yeah, she's an Elvis fan too. Me, not so much. He's all right, I guess. Yeah, good luck, motherfucker. Try not to say too many F-bombs. Pink Floyd. Oh, I do a really good
you do.
Comfortably Numb.
He does.
And yeah, I like a lot of Pink Floyd stuff for sure. Donny Osmond. Oh hell yeah. I know a guy who's really into the Osmonds. He actually owns some of their stage clothes from like their 70s. God bless him. Hey man, if you grew up on that stuff, I guess it's fun. I think I vaguely remember the Osmonds being everywhere in the 70s, but I don't think I really watched any other things. I'm not an Elvis fan, but that's your legal name. Oh, really? For real? And Flat is your middle name and Derp is your last name? Elvis Flat Derp? That's the best name ever. Yeah, it's a good one. That's a solid choice, Silver Mom. It's one of those perfect storms, you know.
Thing that's so good about Comfortably Numb, you could have put any lyric to that melody and it'd be great.
Oh yeah, it's beautifully done, top to bottom. I mean, was it Alan Parsons produced that one, which he also had the Alan Parsons Project.
Yep.
Is a music project, which it's kind of half I enjoyed, half not so much. But yeah, you want to talk about the value of having a top-notch producer.
Yeah, Alan Parsons made a little bit of a comeback in 75, 6-ish with a couple of hit songs and then kind of faded away again.
Yeah. He had one Time Flowing Like a River, something like that. I think it was just called Time. It was okay. He had kind of a dreamy, airy, it kind of had that same Pink Floyd quality. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, a little ZZ Top, maybe a little Sharp Dressed Man we can do. Yeah, Ozzy's he's a difficult one to sing. I don't think I've really tried to do any Ozzy, but I like a lot of Ozzy stuff. Legs, yeah, that's a good one. Fun fact, same gas station that's used in that video for Legs. If you haven't ever seen the video for Legs, you clearly did not grow up in the 80s. ZZ Top, their videos basically always had like really cool, hot rotted up cars,
hot cars and hot women,
and that was it. A winning combination. But that gas station that's in that video for Legs is also the same one that's at the end of the first Terminator film when Sarah Connor gets her picture taken by the young Mexican kid and then drives off into the distance. Any more useless information you guys want to know? Would you like to know Millard Fillmore's middle name? Because I have no idea what that is. All right. Well, yeah, I mean, I'll take requests. I'll be taking requests all night long till the midnight hour. We into the smalls. Yep. Well, that's all I got, kids. Are we gonna fake everybody out again? I think we should play that derp video again as well.
I got it ready to go.
I think that's what we should
just
do.
waiting for the countdown.
Yep. All right, guys. We'll watch.
Thanks, everybody. It's good to see y'all.
Love y'all. We call them ZZ Top in Canada.
We'll be back Tuesday night.
You don't really, do you?
With more music trivia.
Do you really? I gotta know the answer to that. Yes, James Brown. Amen, Yvonne. Probably, I mean, yeah, easily in the top 5 most important musical artists of the century, I would say.
Yeah, one of my favorites is I think it was a tribute to George Harrison when Prince did the As My Guitar Gently Weeps.
Yeah, if we could play that without getting copyright
stuff. Oh man.
You guys have never seen that. It's Tom Petty and Prince and I forget who else, but they're doing a tribute to George Harrison and they do While My Guitar Gently Weeps, and Prince defends his crown. It's amazing. It is really one of the most.
Yep. Does the James Brown bit at the end, passing out. Yep.
It's fantastic. One of the best.
Yeah, I wish we could play it.
Yeah. But luckily we got derp.
We've got flat derp. All right, everybody. Appreciate you. Dick Bag, it's good to hear you back, my friends. Good to have you back, flat derp.
Well, it's good to be back, Rab.
And we'll be around Tuesday night.
You bet.
You count down, sir.
Go ahead. 3, 2, 1. Full screen that bitch.
If it comes around the way people are saying some people are saying it's going to come around, then you guys tell me where you stand. I just want to know because I can't say anything else. I just have to bite my tongue.
Today on Chile's Burning Passions, Mission of Love.
I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission. Every time I see cherries and berries come on, I will pull over and I will. If when you see a copper, your is not sliding out of your pocket, then you have not been watching the channel. Every time you see a copper, your slides out of your pocket and you immediately begin. The reason I film you guys is because I never know when I'm gonna get lucky. And what makes you? What's your passion? You look good, bro. You're looking good. You're looking young, man. I'm 48 years old. The torture cuffs you carry on your belt. If I have to go with you, I'll go with you. You don't have to torture cuff me. Let me put them on you. Let me put them on you the way you put them on people.
Sponsored by Dewitte Law's new cherry and berry flavored lubes for when you really want to f*** a cop.
Dick Bag Patrol in color.
There it is.
Oh.
All right. So long, assholes.